a Synergist Media production.
Two geniuses.
I read 7 books of the Bible in one day.
Craving your attention.
I want you to love us.
Bringing you humor.
Because we are funny.
Reminding you who you are.
I believe this generation will be a generation of Davids answering the call.
Honesty.
Listen, Rover, you're fat.
A voice for a generation.
They stepped up when the time was needed.
This is The Gist.
That's right, you heard that correct. This is The Gist, and it is I, the Chancellor himself, Caleb Betterton, and I hope you have enjoyed the past couple episodes with Sister Heidi and Brother Brandon about art, and Sister Heidi about boundaries and other things. Hopefully, since the baby's getting a little older now, we can have more episodes with Heidi on the show. Had a great time with her. Also had a great time with Brother Brandon discussing art. Hope you enjoyed those episodes. If you haven't heard those episodes yet, go check them out after this one. They are great, great episodes. But guys, man, you heard on the last episode with Sister Heidi about the special announcement that I made on that episode that I have a book coming out in the next year. Should be coming out either at the end of this year or the next year. It's a children's book, and I'm excited about what it entails and what it has in it. I'll give you more details as time goes on, but not yet. So I'm sorry, but I can't give you all the details just yet. But I'll say this, it's a very good moral story. It involves animals, and it involves, let me think, what other teas can I give you? It involves kind of a fairy tale vibe, I guess, would be the way of saying it. So that's all you get for right now, but stay tuned, more to come on that children's book. Hope you guys can check that out. So before we get too deep into the show today, in our apartment we live in, we have, neighbors, of course, and we've lived here for, my wife, I guess, almost a year now, me getting close to a year as well in this apartment. And the entire time we've been here, I think when we first moved in here, we heard the neighbor, saw the neighbor next door. But that was again, almost a year ago. And for the past months, not a peep, not a sign. In fact, for a long time, there was a FedEx package sitting in front of the door for months, at least a month. And so we thought it was vacant. I thought it was vacant. No noise, no signs of life. All the things they hang on the side of the door for maintenance, whatever else, all left there unread, which, doesn't mean anything, but again, no noise at all. And they're right next to us. Never saw them. Again, a package was left on the doorstep for a month straight before it disappeared. And so I thought, no one lives there. Well, some time goes on, and recently there was a notice on the door. It said, eviction notice. And I'm like, that's weird. It's been months since I've seen anybody even close to here. So either they've been gone for a while, or I don't know. It's kind of weird because, again, it's not been a month. Okay, they got evicted. It's been months. Haven't heard a peep from this house. Not a peep. So, kind of weird. And you know how the brain gets sometimes. You start kind of wondering, okay, we've been here for a while. We haven't seen this neighbor, heard this neighbor, no signs of life from this neighbor. What's going on here? And it got me thinking. I'm working on another book, another writing project right now as well. It's actually about a murder mystery, which we'll see where that goes, but nothing big no news on that yet. And it's so in my mind, kind of in that idea of murder mystery, that kind of thing, detective stories. Been reading Sherlock Holmes stories as well, and so of course my mind goes straight to someone died in there. The person who owns this house is dead inside there. No one knows it. They have no family, no friends, no relatives, and they're just dead in there somewhere. And they haven't paid the rent because they're dead. And so I don't know. I'm not sure what's happened there because it's been months. And the other day I put another notice in there saying the sheriff was there, and I guess, I don't know. But I haven't seen any of the notices disappear yet, so I'm not sure if they've completely went in the house that the ownership has and taken care of it yet. So I don't know. Maybe we have a dead neighbor. Let me know what you think. Are they just gone? Did they just bail and never pay the rent? Or could they be dead in there? Because again, Or is somebody hiding bodies in there? Is this some kind of criminal's escape house hiding place? Because again, there was that package that was there for a month, a FedEx little thing for over a month, that one day it was gone. And, the landlord could have came and picked it up, or someone could have came by and picked it up when they were on the run from the law, hiding there for a few days before they disappeared again. And now the property is under eviction. I don't know. What would you do if you found out, though, like your neighbor was murdered next door for like the past 6 months and you didn't know it? I get it, there can be a smell, but maybe not. You never know what happened. Maybe someone got murdered in there, got put in a freezer, and so you can't find their body. No smell, it stays frozen. I don't know. You never know who you live next to. Just saying, you never know what's going on around the house. How many stories have you heard from serial killers who the neighbors, the family, like, we never knew. I mean, he seemed like a nice, quiet guy. Well, there's a nice, quiet guy next door, apparently. He's been living there for months. We haven't seen or heard from, and is just now getting evicted. Huh. Interesting, to say the least. I don't know, folks. Let me know what you think. Because if I find out someone has been dead next door for months and nobody knew, you best believe there'll be a rant on this podcast, and 2, a new story written by yours truly, Caleb Betterton, featuring potentially the plot of the next door dead neighbor. So stay tuned for that.
The Gist. You're listening to The Gist. Entertain but challenge.
I've had a lot of conversations with people about marriage, dating, all that fun stuff, and it's exciting. Dating and marriage are both great things that you should do if you're old enough. First, if you're 12 and you're in this podcast, you can't date yet. I'm sorry, don't date. Wait till you're older. But if you're, the right age to date, then definitely you should date. You should find someone and marry them. And don't wait a long time to get married. Just get married. If you can afford it, and by that I mean you can take care of the bills. You don't have to have $1 million in the bank. Take care of it. But we're actually going to be having an interview here pretty soon. I'll let you know. We haven't recorded it yet, so I don't want to give too many spoilers out there, but we're recording it soon with some experts in marriage. And no, it's not, me with a different accent and a costume on. Some actual experts on marriage. They have a podcast. I'll let you know about it soon. Whenever we record it, I'll give you more details on the episode. But I'm looking forward to it. So if you have any dating questions about dating, could be how to know I'm ready to date. Could be, okay, I'm dating. How do I know they're the one? Could be, okay, we're engaged. What does dating look like from here? If your questions fit in those categories, send me your questions. Email us at synergistmg@gmail.com. And if you're part of Calvary, come ask me them, or come give them to me, and I'll write them down. They'll be asked anonymously, so you can kind of keep your anonymous self without being embarrassed if you feel embarrassed. But you should date. It's good to date. And men, you should be the ones who are doing the pursuing. Now, I'm not saying that women can't make their first move, but if you're actually dating, men, you should be the ones pursuing and pushing further when it comes to going deeper in the relationship, when it comes to marriage, having those conversations, going to the next step. You should be pursuing that wonderful young lady who God's put in your life. If you ignore her, if you don't reach out to her, don't be surprised when she's no longer yours. Just saying. So do that. But with this coming up, with this interview coming up, I've been thinking a lot about dating and my wife and my marriage and all that kind of fun stuff. And it's been a really cool thing to watch. Seeing my used to be girlfriend, now my wife, go from being a girlfriend to now a wife, and becoming even more and more of a great wife as every day goes on. And she is a great wife. She is the perfect wife for me. And I'm not just saying that because I have to. I sincerely mean that. She is a wonderful woman of God, a super sweet, super loving wife, and I'm so thankful for her in my life. But it's been interesting, and I'm sure it probably goes both ways, but watching her go from being the unsure girlfriend to now all sold out wife has been a really cool process to see. Seeing her go from, eating Chick-fil-A and being and just living a single person's life to now trying to be a crunchy wife and making sourdough bread and doing all this stuff and trying to take care of the house and do this stuff, and it's so fun to watch. It's so cool to see her just thrive in it, really. See her embrace it and see her find joy in it. And it's a really cool thing to see. Because part of marriage really is finding your purpose in marriage. And that can take some time. That may take some ups and downs. And I think you got to continue to grow yourself and build yourself up as both the man and wife to fulfill those roles and keep those roles and keep your priorities straight and all that fun stuff. But the truth is, it's a joy. Marriage is great. If anyone's told you marriage is not great, that's their fault for their marriage. It's kind of harsh, kind of blunt, but it's true. There will be ups and downs. There'll be some tough times, but there'll be also great times. And like Paul said, this present suffering is not compared to the future glory of. No, I'm just kidding. But it's really great, and it really is fantastic. Fantastic because you get to see the growth in another person, and you get to see the growth in yourself, and you get to see these two lives come together and begin to work together towards a goal, towards marriage, towards building a home, towards figuring each other out, sacrifice, giving things up. And you find true success, you find true purpose in being selfless. And marriage is a very selfless thing. But in that selflessness, you find so much purpose, so much joy, so much peace and love. And it's fantastic. And so if you're scared to get married, don't be. If you are praying about it, if you have gotten confirmation from your pastor about it, if you feel like God's told you this is the one, what are you afraid of? Do your best. Grow yourself. Be your best. But when it's time to get married, get married. Embrace it and give it all you got. And watch yourself go from being the boyfriend, the girlfriend, to the engaged couple, to the husband, to the wife, and finding your fulfillment in serving in those roles. Those roles can be difficult roles. They can be hard sometimes, but the fulfillment and the love and the joy from it's so much greater. And watching your spouse develop and grow themselves is an amazing thing to see. It's inspiring. It's great. It's so, so beautiful. And watching my wife just kind of change and grow and develop herself and really embrace being a wife, and not just for my benefit, but it's blessing her as well. And she wants to be a good wife, and I want to be a good husband. And when you go into a marriage both with the right motive in mind, you're gonna have a blessed marriage. You're gonna have ups and downs. You're gonna have things you work through. That's any marriage. That's any relationship. That's anything in life. But when you give yourself to it and go in there with the right motive, willing to be selfless, willing to walk in humility, man, you can have a wonderful marriage. And marriage is great. And if anyone told you it's not, again, that's on them, not on you. You can have a wonderful marriage. You can find somebody, date them. And when you find that person, pursue them, men, ladies, pray, get direction, get guidance, be ready to take that next step and trust the process and the plan God has for you. But when it's time to take that leap of faith, as my pastor always says, marriage is a faith act. It's about faith. And when it's time to take that step of faith, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Take this step of faith, and it's going to be absolutely an amazing, amazing experience for you, an amazing and great change for your life. You hear this a lot, and I think this is true, so don't twist what I'm saying here, but you're always told when you're single, you never have this much time to pursue ministry, and that's true to an extent. The problem is I've seen too many young people use that as a crutch because they're scared to get married. They're scared to pursue a relationship. They're scared to be vulnerable. They're scared to walk in faith into a relationship and get married, and so they use that as their excuse. The truth is, when it comes to your ministry, one, your family is a ministry, but two, you're going to find that there is so much blessing in marriage and ministry. You can help each other out. There's peace there. There is joy there. There is love there. And it takes some growth. It takes some working things out. And it takes some trying to figure out your role and your place. And that's a process. And that's great. But it's so nice having that person you can lean on. You can trust in. who you know is there for you, who you know believes in you no matter what. And so really marriage blesses your ministry more. It doesn't hurt at all. It blesses it. It brings it more life. And when it comes to time, I feel like every time I go into a new level of life, everyone says the same thing. You're never going to have more time than you do right now. And that's the truth. Whatever season you're in life, you're never going to have more time than you do right now. If it's, I'm married now and says, well, enjoy this time you can because you have the kids, you'll have no time at all. Well, also the same thing when I was single about marriage. And I think it's both true. Again, don't take me out of context here. I think both are true. But the truth is you're supposed to grow in life. There are different seasons of life. And if God is calling you to a new season of dating, of marriage, of taking a leap of faith in that direction, but you're holding back, you're not taking that step, well, why? God has a new season for you in dating, in marriage, and it's good. Don't be afraid when the time is right and that person is there and you know that's the person you want to marry, or even to reach out to somebody. You may not know you want to marry them yet, but you think, man, that person is kind of cute. Reach out. Don't be weird, but reach out. Be appropriate, but reach out. And let God direct you and give you direction on your marriage and your dating and your future. Because God wants to bless you with a spouse. And He will. But you have to take some steps along the way. Just like anything, marriage takes action, not just wishing. I want to get married. Well, what are you doing to get married? Who are you talking to in order to get married? And not counselors, but girls or guys, between if you're a boy or girl, who are you reaching out to? Who are you trying to meet and talk to? Just as friends at first, but when the time is right, taking that first step of faith in dating, then eventually the next step of faith in being engaged, and that third step of faith and actually saying I do on that platform and watching God transform your life in the best way possible.
You are listening. You're listening to The Gist.
Well, I didn't mean to be as preachy as I was in the last segment, but today's conversation, David and Joseph were both 17-ish, headed into their hyphen years, which is 18 to 25 for those who don't know, when everything changed in their life. David had killed a giant. He had a bright future, a call in his life. Plus, he was seeing success. And then out of nowhere, it seemed, a spear was thrown at him. Joseph had favor, had dreams, and then one day, out of the blue, it seemed like he was thrown into a pit. And both those things, face value and in reality too, seem like negative or bad things. But the truth is, both the spear and the pit were good. Both the spear and the pit were good. Both the spear and the pit were taking them towards their purpose. Joseph was the favorite and David was the forgotten, but both were called. And that's important to understand. It doesn't matter your place in life, if you're the popular kid or you're the least popular guy. If you are the most successful or the one who's you're just getting that C average to F, I don't know, hope you're not getting Fs, but you're not the one everyone's pointing at saying that's the guy right there. David was forgotten about. He was out, he wasn't even brought to the table. Joseph was a favorite, so it doesn't matter what side you're on, you can be called. And that's a great thing because God's no respecter of persons and you are called. And so if you feel like, well, I can't be called because of this or that, guess what? It doesn't matter if you're the most successful and the favored or the forgotten. You can be called and you are called. And guess what? God's going to take you down a path that's going to lead you to your purpose. And both those paths may involve some spears or pits. And that's a good thing. It's taking you towards your purpose through God's path, not necessarily your plan. Also, because you can be the favorite or the forgotten, if you are one of the brothers, David's brothers or Joseph's brothers. Quit judging your brother by if they're the favored or the forgotten. Both can be called. And so don't judge your brother and think, well, they can't be called or they're not called or they can't achieve this or they're this or that. Guess what? Both ends of the stick can be called. And so don't judge your brother. If God has called them, get behind them. Because the Lord looks at the heart. You know, some keys we see during this time of their lives, of the spear and the pit, and what happened after that in their hyphen years. We both see them have to deal with hurt and pain. You know, I mentioned that a minute ago, but Paul says in Romans 8:18, I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing to the glory that will be revealed in us. Your development is going to go through some times of spears and pits and slavery and running away and all these other things that come along with what happened next in both their lives and their hyphen years. But there's going to be some suffering. But guess what? The suffering you're going through now won't even compare to the glory that will be revealed in you that God has for you, the anointing, the plan, the call God has for your life in the future. Both the dream and the anointing oil of king, calling of king, came to pass. But the path to that end goal, that end purpose, had to go through some pain and suffering for their development. We see both David and Joseph develop into leaders and great men in these seasons. And look what happened. David wouldn't kill Saul, and Joseph ended up saving his brothers, because how we respond and treat those who may have hurt us matters. It shows our hearts. Their response to Saul and the brothers showed their heart, showed their character, and God blessed them for that. Both found favor because they did what was right. In your hyphen years, if you'll do the right thing, you're going to find favor. No matter where you're at, whatever's being thrown at you or how deep in a pit you're in, if you'll just do the right thing, you'll find favor. This is the testament of your hyphen years. The prison Joseph was in, the king's prison, was what opened the door to his purpose. The season you're in right now may end up being what opens the door to your purpose, hyphen, 18 to 25-year-old, 12-year-old, 35-year-old. The season you're in right now may end up being what opens the door to your purpose. So you must stay consistent in your walk with God, like both David and Joseph. You must stay consistent in your attitude, like both David and Joseph. You must stay consistent in your work and effort, like David and Joseph. It's the consistency in your hyphen years that takes you to your purpose. Don't let the lies of the enemy kill your momentum. Because the enemy would say, this pit is your future. These spears are your future. You have no future. All the dreams, the anointing, all that, where's it at? But don't let the lies of the enemy kill your momentum. Whatever you're facing right now will pass. You hear me? It will pass. There is a great future ahead for each of you, but you got to keep your character right and become the best worshipers you can. And 2 Timothy 4:5, as we end this conversation says, but you be watchful in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, fulfill your ministry. Be watchful in all things. Endure your present afflictions and do the work that God's called you to do. and fulfill the purpose God has for you. You can do it, Hyphen. We believe in you. The best is yet to come. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show. A little more serious or preachy than I thought it would be, but hey, here we are. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the show, for sharing these episodes, for telling your friends about them, for being a supporter of the show. I really do appreciate that. We really appreciate that here at The Gist. It's really helpful. The more you share it, the more you spread the word about it, the more it blesses us and who can help us keep on making content for you. We have fun here. We have our serious conversations. We also have our insane, fun, crazy conversations, rants, takes, bits, whatsoever. We have a correspondent who's a little crazy. All of this stuff we have. But we really enjoy making these podcasts for you. And if you wouldn't mind, for free, leave a 5-star review. Share this episode. Leave a comment. Do all this stuff. Watch us on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. I think we're at 71 subscribers now. Help us get to 100. You can help us get there. Do it now. Link in the show notes below with all this stuff. Follow us on Instagram, all the fun stuff. We love you guys. You guys are the best. We'll see you next time. Keep challenging yourself and being a great generation. This is The Gist. Bye.